Hey, and welcome back to On Your Terms. I'm your host, Sam Vander, and today we're doing a little hot take episodes. It's always what we do on Thursdays, little quickie episodes. And today we are talking about an episode of Ted Lasso. And don't worry, if you've never seen Ted Lasso before, that doesn't matter. And I'm not spoiling anything either if you are a Ted Lasso fan. But this actually came to me during an episode from season 3, episode 7, from I think one of the fan favorites, Sam, one of the soccer players on the show, and he owns a restaurant in the show, and his dad is coming to visit him that week. And I think on the show before, we've heard him like talk to his dad a lot, but we've never seen the dad in person. That's what I remember. But he's really anxious. Sam's feeling really anxious that his dad's coming to visit that week, and he wants to like impress him and make sure that the restaurant looks good. And it's a really big deal for him and his family to have, built this restaurant. And actually the restaurant's doing really well. And in all of his, fretting and anxiety, Sam is nitpicking over the spoons, the silverware in his restaurant. And his chef, Simi, says to him, if the food is good, which it is, nobody cares about the spoons. And I thought that was such a great line. And it was just so like apropos to business, because in business, we focus a lot on the spoons. Like in our businesses, maybe it's, our websites, what our websites look like, or having the perfect picture and the perfect filter and the fonts and making sure our social posts look good and that our copy's great. And like all of these little things, like designing the perfect link page for your Instagram bio, all of that kind of stuff. We focus on that a lot. But honestly, I think what is much more helpful is focusing on whether the food is good in your own business, right? So I talk a lot about like, is your product really good? Is it actually helping people? Is your service good? Is there something that you need to like bump up your game to really be helping people? What kinds of results are you seeing? What kind of feedback are you getting? I think we need to focus more on that kind of stuff, and actually making sure that the food of our businesses is so good that it's not only bringing people back, it's getting them some kind of good experience, which is then leading to them being foot soldiers and talking to other people about your business, right? And talking to other people about your product. I think that's what's really important. If I was to take this a level deeper too, it would be, yes, to focus on creating a great product or service for people. I think that's the best starting point. But when we're talking about it from a marketing perspective, to me, the food is like the bigger picture evergreen content that you're creating that will actually go out there and work for you over time, and not like some what I call toilet content, something you put out there and just goes away right away, right? Goes right down the toilet. So instead, focusing on things like SEO optimized blog posts on your website or optimizing your website, having a podcast that you title, you optimize the titles and post elsewhere, having a YouTube episode or a YouTube channel that you do the same thing for, right? Focusing more on that, which to me, the spoons of the marketing part of your business are more like social media, like the individual little pieces. If you're creating a lot of one-off toilet content, like creating reels just for reels versus creating a podcast episode and taking a video from your podcast episode and then using that as a reel, we're then starting with that foundational content and then using it elsewhere so that we're not wasting our time. We're directing traffic to something else that's going to take our customer on the next step in their customer journey in our business. So let's all think about a way this week that we can focus more on the food and focus less on the spoons, even just becoming aware of in your own business, like, oh, I think I'm focusing a little too much on the spoons here, or this is like a spoons thing and I need to get back to the food. I think that could be really transformative in your business. And it's just such a simple mindset shift. I love that Ted Lasso gave us this little example. So I hope you liked this little quickie episode. If you did, please pop it to text it to a friend real quick, hit like, subscribe, follow the show wherever you listen. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll chat with you in a few days. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Terms podcast. Make sure to follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. You can also check out all of our podcast episodes, show notes, links, and more at samvanderwielen.com/podcast. You can learn more about legally protecting your business and take my free legal workshop, 5 Steps to Legally Protect and Grow Your Online Business at samvanderwielen.com. And to stay connected and follow along, follow me on Instagram at samvanderwielen and send me a DM to say hi. Just remember that although I am a attorney, I am not your attorney, and I am not offering you legal advice in today's episode. This episode and all of my episodes are informational and educational only. It is not a substitute for seeking out your own advice from your own lawyer. And please keep in mind that I can't offer you legal advice. I don't ever offer any legal services, but I think I offer some pretty good information.